A lot of, though certainly not all of Week 15 is in the books, and even though we have two doubleheaders on both Monday and Tuesday night, there is a lot to discuss regarding the current state of the NFL. We are going to break everything down, from the Chiefs being on top of the AFC, the Cardinals currently in the middle of having a mini collapse and what they can do to get back on track, the Patriots and Bills battle still very much alive for the AFC East champion, and much, much more. So, as always, without further ado, let's begin. And the first topic I'd like to discuss for today's video is the 49ers-Falcons game, and if you're new to the channel and new to the recaps, then please know this is not the number one priority or the number one ultimate takeaway from Week 15. But what I would like to say about regarding this game is it was exactly what we, or at least I, thought it would be going in. The Falcons have not beat anybody of note and have losses like a 43-3 loss to the Cowboys and like a 25-0 loss to the Patriots, teams that are very much looking to compete for a Super Bowl, and they have wins against teams like the Jags and the Trevor Siemian-led Saints. I would have been extremely shocked if they went into San Francisco and won on Sunday, strictly because I don't think the Falcons are necessarily frauds, but I definitely don't think they are legit. And calling them frauds at 6-7, which was their record prior to this game, really doesn't mean anything because, again, they haven't beat anybody of note, and the 49ers did what they were supposed to do, which is take care of business, and they did exactly that. And the takeaway is the Falcons are exactly what we thought they were. Now, heading to Indy to discuss the Saturday night game between the Pats and Colts, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to have an immediate knee-jerk reaction and say something along the lines of the Patriots are frauds, or they're not good when Mac Jones is forced to win a game, or an absurd take generally in this stratosphere. And there's a few things that need to be established or remembered when discussing both the Patriots and Mac Jones. Mac, believe it or not, is a rookie, and sometimes the expectations in a world where we have access to everything in pretty much the snap of a finger, well, those expectations need to be tampered, and the Patriots and Bill Belichick want to believe Mac Jones is their franchise quarterback for the next 15 years, and while admittedly it does look like he is, there's going to be growing pains, and there will most certainly be rookie moments. Remember, even when Justin Herbert had a 36 total touchdown season last year, and a season which very much raised the expectations for not only himself in 2021, but most importantly for this segment of the video, for every rookie quarterback moving forward, Herbert had rookie moments and was not exempt to growing pains in his own rights, and there's no better game that shows that from Herbert's rookie season than a 45-0 loss that he suffered to none other than Bill Belichick, and the game was played at SoFi Stadium, by the way, for what it's worth. And not only that, but the next point is the Patriots during their 7-game win streak, which, credit to them, that's not easy for them or for anyone to do, and I really hate when people are like, oh, well, it's the Patriots, we just expect that. No, it's not easy, and there's a reason why teams simply don't do this every year, much less this 7-game win streak with a rookie quarterback. They gave up more than 14 points just once, and while Mac was not playing like an MVP, he was doing what was required to win games. Now, I would never recommend betting against Bill Belichick by any means, but a takeaway from Week 15 is that, wait for it, Mac Jones is still a rookie and will naturally go through some mistakes, and that should not tear him down mentally, but should help him grow in the long run, because everyone goes through them, and old McCorkle Jones will be no exception. And from one AFC team, we go to another to discuss the Buffalo Bills. First off, congratulations on the win Sunday against the Panthers. As the Cardinals proved Sunday, no win is ever a freebie, and I genuinely do mean that. But I have a lot more concerns with Buffalo right now than I would like for them, and for a team that wants to very much build on their AFC Championship loss from a year ago. My concerns with them right now is in January, more often than not, and especially up there in western New York, where the weather, as we saw a few weeks ago, and by the way, I was there, I can confirm the weather was horrific for that Monday night game. You have to be able to run the football in January, and why this concerns me with the Bills is teams that are built in the trenches, teams like the Indianapolis Colts, like the New England Patriots. Both of those teams went into Buffalo and rushed for over 220 yards, and the Colts over 250 yards, and we know the Patriots threw the ball just 3 times in what was a win over the Bills in their own stadium. And having said this, what concerns me for them isn't Josh Allen or his ability to beat potential playoff teams. See an 18-point win over Kansas City in Week 5 for that. My concern is this team was built and assembled by GM Brandon Beane with the goal in mind to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and in the process of doing that, left an unintended consequence, and it's that they are very, very vulnerable to power run-heavy teams, and teams that can do that. And not only are they vulnerable to those said teams, but they themselves cannot run the football effectively, and certainly not when they need to, and it is proven time and time again. And you may point to the fact of the Bills at least entering Sunday. Obviously this is changing now. They were 20th in the NFL in rush defense in terms of total rushing yards allowed. But Buffalo has several blowout wins where rushing the football is obviously not going to occur as much as in a game that's close and one like you would see in the playoffs. So again, congratulations to the Bills for the 3-score win against the Panthers on Sunday. I genuinely do mean that. No win is ever easy. I, however, am hesitant on this team moving forward. Now we discuss the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and how their outlook is after a 9-0 shutout on Sunday Night Football. So, first things first, credit the New Orleans Saints for not only beating the Tom Brady-led Bucs, but to shut them out in their own stadium, and for a Taysom Hill-led team to beat, again, a Tom Brady-led team without their head coach in Sean Payton is more than impressive. Enough credit cannot be given as it was a truly dominant performance, and there was a tweet that said it was his first time being shut out since 2006, and yeah, here's the tweet on the screen. I'll let you guys read what else, and there's a possibility you guys already saw this tweet. Now, I do not panic with the Bucs, mainly because we do not know the extent of Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Leonard Fournette's injuries at this point in time. If all three are out for the foreseeable future, then yes, I am very much concerned, and I do think the Bucs' shot at repeating would be effectively over. However, I think this will very much be the bump in the road the Bucs need, as remember they had a few bumps in the road last year on their way to a Super Bowl title, as they had not lost in over a month. Their last loss was to the football team, and they had some impressive wins in their 4-game win streak, including a win on the road in Indy and a win last week against the Bills. We've seen time and time again how this plays out, and I would be genuinely shocked if Tom somehow does not get the last laugh again. It would be too fitting for the Bucs to get the 2 seed, the Saints to get the 7 seed and wildcard round. Tom and company put up 35 points in the first 3 quarters and comfortably move on to the divisional round. I mean, we've all seen this before, guys, and he is the GOAT for a reason. But for Week 15 purposes, Saints fans, enjoy the win because, shit, if my team shut out the Bucs and we were now in the playoff race more than ever before, I'd very much be drinking the Kool-Aid, rightfully so, and I would be very ecstatic. So Saints fan, enjoy today's win, and Bucs fans, don't overthink it. As for Chiefs-Chargers, don't count out the Chiefs, and if you are a Chargers fan and lost this game way back on Thursday night, you have to be genuinely upset this did not go your way, because there were countless opportunities for them to win. For drives to end up 4 times ending in Chiefs territory, and to come away with 0 points is not only bad, but also disheartening. The Chiefs could and probably will at this point represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, especially with this win and now in full control of the very sought-after first-round bye. This was the one the Chargers had to win, and I would have been sick to my stomach if my team lost this way, and yes, I'm a Vikings fan, so I'd like to think I know about my fair share of painful losses. Anyways, the Justin Herbert-led Chargers will probably make the playoffs this year and will be a good stepping stone for this team and for this franchise to have to get their quarterback postseason experience, but when you are that close to not only beating the Chiefs, but sweeping the Chiefs, the 2-time defending AFC champion ones, it is truly a disheartening loss. Cardinals-Lions time, and while the knee-jerk reaction is to call the Cardinals frauds and this and that, I am not doing so, and here's why. They nearly beat the Rams on Monday Night Football last week, despite having 0 reason to be in that game. Kyler threw an ugly interception to Leonard Floyd, threw another interception in the red zone, and had a pass hit off of DeAndre Hopkins' knee inside the 5-yard line. All of this occurred, and they were a Hail Mary away from extending the game, and even if they hit the Hail Mary, I'm guessing Cliff would have went for 2 to try and win regulation. Ultimately, they did not, and the reason why I'm not panicking with Arizona is, well, for a few reasons, but this was a classic trap game. Their next 2 games are home against Indy, who have looked very good over the past few weeks, and immediately following that is a game in Dallas and home against the Seahawks, and despite their record, I expect the game to at least be close as it is a divisional game. For the Seahawks to win is something else, but it should be a close game. And for what it's worth, the Lions are a bad team, yes, but we all know they have been in several games they should have won. You could argue they should have beat the Ravens, the Vikings earlier in the year, the Steelers in what ended up being a tie, the Browns in Cleveland, and the Bears on Thanksgiving Day. Yes, they had a 44-6 loss to the Eagles and a 34-11 loss to the Bengals, but what I mean is if those games previously mentioned go the Lions' way, they're a 7-7 team right now in December on the brink of the playoffs. This doesn't mean that much because they are a 2-11-1 team, but they are easily the best 2-win team in December of all time, and I would bet any amount of money they would throttle any team in this general area. They would kill both the Texans and Jags, and one thing not mentioned that usually is before games like this is the time zone difference between Arizona and Detroit, and the 1 o'clock, the West Coast, Arizona does not recognize daylight savings time, so yes, the time zone difference in the 1 o'clock early game. You also had a team coming off of a Monday night loss on short rest, potentially looking ahead at the schedule, and a Detroit team that under Man Campbell will never give up, and it showed on Sunday. If the Cardinals get trounced by Indy Saturday, as it is a Christmas Day game, then I will very much be worried. They are a 10-4 team for a reason, and 10-4 does not happen by luck, especially with commanding wins like a 25-point win on the road against the fully healthy Titans, a 17-point win on the road against the Rams, and a season sweep, one in which Colt McCoy played, of the 49ers. Do not panic and jump off the Cardinals train yet. And with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, now is the time I ask you to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as guys, it would mean the world. And until next time, please be safe and have a great day.